What is up, cyber peeps? This is your girl Toy Xavier, and you're watching Toy Xavier TV. Tonight, I want to do a story time, and since this is the season of Halloween, I'm going to tell you a ghost story about one of my personal experiences when I didn't really see a ghost, but I knew one was there. So, today is October 5th, 2016. My grandmother passed away 20 years ago today. And this is my mother's mother. She was phenomenal, y'all. And for those who know me, they know that Miss Orly Williams was like the mother of all grandmothers and the mother of all mothers as well. Okay, so this took place the summer of like 1999, somewhere around there. Well, I was still staying with my parents, and I had 3 little stair steppers at the time. My children were like maybe a couple of months old, 2, and then 3. We were living in my grandmother's her old house, and my room had its own private like wing and everything. It had its like exit to the back to outside, and it also had its own bathroom, and that's where me and my kids lived at and we slept at. And it was connected to the kitchen, which connected the rest of the house from there. So you had to go through my room. If you came in through my room, you have to go through the kitchen, and then you had like the living room, the dining room, and all of that in the other 3 bedrooms. So I think it was maybe like mid-afternoon, and my mother was there, my sister and brother were there, and my kids were taking a nap. Well, my mother, she came in my room and she was like, "Toy, I need you to wash the dishes and make sure you clean the kitchen up if you leave before you leave the house, if you decide to leave it or anything like that." Because I think she said she had to go to work later on. And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just go ahead and knock the dishes out a little later." So I fell asleep, and I think I maybe woke up probably maybe around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And I woke up because I kept hearing people in the kitchen. And I'm like, I knew at that particular time my sister and brother hadn't made it home from school yet, because I think it was a weekday, and they hadn't made it home from school yet, but they were there that morning. And I'm like, okay, I knew they were gone. So my mom, I wasn't sure if she had left yet, because she normally worked like evening shift. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I hear water running, I hear dishes clinging and clanging, and I hear like whispering, like talking and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, maybe my sister and brother are already home. So instead of getting up and just going to see who was in the kitchen, I just yelled. I was like, okay, I got the dishes, it's my turn to wash the dishes. Let me go ahead and wash them. Y'all, nobody said anything. They didn't even respond. So I'm like, okay, somebody in the kitchen, they hear me. Maybe they got headphones on, I don't know. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. I hear the water start running again, and I hear dishes clinging, and I hear like somebody humming, like just like they're singing a song. It sounded like my mother. So I said, "Mom, I got the dishes, don't worry about it, go ahead and do what you need to do." Nobody said anything. Nobody said a word. So I looked at my children. 2 of them were still sleeping. One of them was kind of up, and he was just kind of toddling around. This was my oldest son. He was just looking around, playing with his toys and stuff. And he just burst into laughter. And he's looking at the back door. And I look at the back door, and I'm like, "What are you laughing at?" He just, my friend. And he said, "That lady or my friend." And I'm like, okay. So me thinking he's just a typical kid, maybe he's just playing with his imaginary friend or whatever. I wasn't sure. So I just keep on doing what I'm doing, and I'm watching TV, and I'm like, I keep hearing somebody in the kitchen. And finally I said, let me just get up. Let me just go and see who's in the kitchen, who's at home, because I probably should just walk the house anyway, just to check on everybody. Y'all, I opened that door to my bedroom that opens up into the kitchen. It was not a single soul in that kitchen, and there was not a dish in the sink. And I tell you, it was not one dish in the sink, no water running. It wasn't a soul in that kitchen. I walked all the way through the house. My mom's room was empty. My sister's room was empty. My brother's room was empty. We even had a laundry room all the way at the very end of the house. I went back in there and I just got this chill. And I'm talking about like this complete, like this, like it wasn't a scary chill, like, you know, like a feeling of dread or anything like that. It was more like a presence. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, okay, I'm officially freaked the hell out. So I start walking back up. We had hardwood floors. I started walking back up towards my room, and you know how you just feel like somebody is like right behind you, like that feeling of you know that you're in the house by yourself, but you feel somebody right behind you. And I just felt like this presence behind me. And I just turn around and I'm like, I don't see anything, but it's just like I just know something's there. And it's like, it wasn't like that bad feeling where it's something evil or something. It was just something was there. And so I was like, okay, I'm here by myself. I don't have a car at the time. I got these 3 little kids with me. Don't freak out. Just, you know, you have no idea. It could just be your imagination, Toya. It could just be running away with you. So what I ended up doing, y'all, I was so scared. So I go to my room. I walk to my room and I just closed the door. And I had like, my bedroom door actually had a lock on it, and I think a deadbolt too. So I just locked it and I just sat there for a minute. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, y'all be quiet for a second. I just want to see if I was going to hear it again. And I'm like, y'all, babies, be quiet for a second, because at this time all 3 of them were up and they were like, Mom, I'm hungry. Now it was no way in hell I was going to get up and go in that kitchen and start making food. I'm like, no, we just going to have to sit this one out. I may walk to the store or something like that, but I'd be damned if I go back in that kitchen. So I'm sitting there and I'm like listening, and I hear it again. And I'm like, at that point, I knew I was not alone, y'all. And I got brave enough to I was just gonna open the door real fast. Y'all, I had my kids, I put their little shoes on and stuff, and I'm like, it's 100 degrees outside. Do I really want to sit outside until somebody come home? I said, no, let me just ease my mind and just open the door. Y'all, I opened the door, and I just, you know how you just to get that point where you know something's gonna happen, but you don't know what, and you just like you're anticipating, your adrenaline is just pumping, and you take the latch off the door. I take the latch off the door, and I'm like waiting. So I'm trying to be quiet as possible, like, you know, if I'm not heard, then maybe I can just sneak up on whatever's there or whatever's not there, you know. So I took the deadbolt and I just turned it, and I'm like, y'all be quiet, you be quiet. And then, you know, the babies are like, hey, mommy, I want this, mommy, I'm hungry. I'm like, just shut up for a second. Wait a minute. Let me see. Wait. So I open up the door and I peek first, and I don't see anything, but it's like, maybe it was like an eyelash or something, but I saw like a shadow. And I'm like, okay, maybe I had eyelash in my eye, or just maybe a cloud passing by or something like that. And I'm like, y'all, I'm sitting there and I'm like, my heart's like doom 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 doom. I mean, I could hear myself breathing. I mean, it was intense. And I pulled the door open, and the next thing you know, I'm just fucking with you. Okay. Seriously though, I pulled the door open and there was absolutely nobody there again. So at that time, I got my kids. We went and sat outside. It was like a little patio, and it was somewhat shade out there. So we sitting out there, and I was like, well, at least let me go in the bathroom and get like some water. I had like a couple of kitty snacks and stuff around the room, so I gave them those. And I'm like, when my mom comes home or my sister and brother come home, I gotta tell them what's going on. So I think maybe I was out there about 2 hours, y'all. I'm serious, like literally 2 hours. in this doggone hot sun with my 3 little bitty babies, and people were driving by, beep beep, because you know it's my neighborhood where I grew up at. I knew everybody in the Fraser area, so I would see people driving by. They're like, "Hey, Toy," I'm like, "Hi," sweating my butt off. And my kids, I could tell they had like little red cheeks. I'm like, my baby's getting sunburned, but I am not going back in that house. No. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting, I guess I was getting a heat stroke, y'all, because I'm sitting there like, just kind of just drowsy and stuff. And my kids, they're just like, starting to whine and stuff. And my mom pulls up and she was like, "Girl, why you sitting out here with this hot sun with them babies, with these little babies and stuff? It's 90-something degrees outside and humidity like 100%. Why you sitting out?" I'm like, "Look, I thought somebody was here. Nobody was here." I said, "But somebody was in that kitchen washing dishes, running water, humming and singing. And I just felt somebody was there, and I kept hearing it, and I saw shadows out the corner of my eye. I'm scared. I just wasn't going back in the house." And she was like, "It's just your grandmother, Toya." I'm like, "It don't matter. I can't physically see that person. Like, just don't do it." You know, I'm like, I was just, I don't know what the word was, what I was. I was just like uncomfortable. I wasn't comfortable, period. I just didn't like the whole situation of knowing that there was a presence in the house. You know what I'm saying? No, absolutely not. No. So y'all, I told my mom, I'm like, don't leave me here by myself again. If you're going to leave the house, let me know so I can have somewhere to go. So I don't want to sit here by myself. So y'all, that was the most intense paranormal experience I had, because I physically knew somebody was there. And I didn't really see them, but I felt the presence. I felt like a slight chill in the air. I had goosebumps on the back of my neck. And when I walked through that whole house, I knew somebody was behind me. And I just knew at that moment I was going to turn around and see somebody or something. But I didn't feel that terrified feeling like I was in danger. I felt more like, okay, it was more like that presence was there. And I guess because I didn't physically see them, it was more of an uncomfortable and uneasy feeling. So my mom, she chopped it up as, you know, she had her experiences too. And then, but what's crazy though, when I started telling everybody the story, my cousin said she had a similar experience. My mom said she even had a similar experience a couple of weeks or so after that. And everybody was like, "It's just grandma. It's just grandma." I'm like, "I'm cool. I understand. But like, let me know something, you know? I just don't want to just wake up and hear commotion in the kitchen and I'm saying stuff and at least respond." But you know, my mom, my grandmother, me, and my sister, we all sound exactly alike. Like, you can barely tell us apart on the phone. So if she had said, "It's fine," I would have thought it was my mom, and I would have been like, okay, and I would have never thought about it again. But y'all, that was the most weirdest and craziest experience I ever had. Anyway, that was my story time for Halloween. Tune in every Wednesday evening for another Halloween paranormal ghost story or freaky, scary experience up until Halloween, because I'm going to be doing a Halloween special for Storytime every Wednesday for the whole month of October. Thank you all for watching, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all, I got 22 subscribers. Come on now. I can't be that boring. If I'm boring, give me some ideas. I can come up with, work with me, you know? I can do something. Just subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Toy Xavier. And thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.